What is happening in?
Our people are getting murdered, tortured. Our old people who can't defend themselves are being burned with cooking oil.
Living in fear, attacked, maimed because of their skin color. This is fucking horrible. Horrible. And for some reason, people on the left labeled this a conspiracy theory. The evidence is there. It is not a conspiracy whatsoever. This is real. Why in the world would you refuse to even slightly look at it? Reverse racism is growing. It's pathetic. And it's very, very dangerous. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, for many people, it's deadly.
So you guys can see that something was happening in South Africa to the white South Africans, right? For those who do not know, there are white people in South Africa. So that whole thing happened, and I think what drew my attention to that video was the man who was commenting on the whole situation, talking about how it's not fair for people to be discriminated against based on their skin color. And I was like, wow, who knew? Who knew? Okay, now I'm not laughing at the situation. There's nothing to laugh about that situation. But the fact that he was saying it like it was something new, like this is the first time it's ever occurring in history, it was laughable. Anyway, I'm just going to go right ahead and play people's responses to his video. Our people are getting tortured.
If you missed it, the descendants of white colonizers are being strategically murdered by the indigenous peoples of South Africa. A gag so deliciously predictable, it's almost vulgar. The creator of Stitched has attempted to use this story as some form of proof that you can in fact be racist towards white people, and they failed miserably because there's a massive amount of historical precedent that simultaneously explains and justifies their actions. There's this weird form of societal gaslighting that modern white people have taken to, where they deliberately ignore more than half a millennium of context. Surely you all are exhausted. Surely your spines are cramping from holding your backs to that mirror.
Because of their skin color. This is horrible.
What the you say? Man, say it ain't so, man. You telling me them people are being murdered and maimed just because of the color of their skin? Oh my God. What would make people ever do that to another race of people in history? I've never heard such a fucking thing. They are killing people, y'all, and murdering and maiming them people, y'all, for the color of their skin. I ain't never heard such a thing in history, y'all. Y'all heard such a damn thing? Now that's what I mean by white privilege. Y'all been doing that shit to us forever. And now all of a sudden, judging people by the color of their skin, maiming, raping, unaliving people because of the color of their skin. You are outraged behind it because it's your skin color now. That's what I mean by white privilege. You acting like this is like some new fucking phenomenon. Like you haven't been doing this shit to my people forever. And now you outraged because some people done turned the tables on your people. Like you don't think that's kind of privileged, sir? And this is like, and I'm gonna speak for my people on this one, because I know brothers feel like this. Real brothers. And I'm not talking about the guns. Bruh, I really don't give a fuck. Like, being honest with you, I don't care. Because y'all don't find the situation horrible until it happened to white people. That's why we got black history and not just plain old history. You don't care that shit happened over here. It's black history. It's not American history because it ain't happening with white people. Yeah, y'all corner the market on everything. And now all of a sudden, the shit that y'all been doing to us and my people forever, you want me to be outraged because it's happening to your people when you showed not one motherfucking iota outrage for my people. So in the words of the immortal Rhett Butler in y'all favorite movie, slave movie, Gone with the Wind, frankly, my dear Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
It's pathetic and it's very, very dangerous.
I need some coffee, but who started racism? Who started it? Y'all. Now that is reversing. It's dangerous. Why wasn't it dangerous before? This is still happening today with my skin color by your people. We are not hateful people. Never caused as much harm as your kind has. But we are not saving you, baby. We're not saving you. Like y'all told us, get over it. Find a way to get out of it.
So let me let y'all know something. In South Africa, evidently some white folks are being tortured and killed because of the color of their skin. But I don't think it's because of the color of their skin. No, I think it's the context of their character. You know, because just recently in South Africa, there was a pool full of white folks, and two South African boys decided to get in the pool. Well, you know what they did. I mean, the same thing they did in America. You know, they left the pool. As soon as black people got in, they left at the pool. Well, it was even worse because these young boys had to been like 13, 15 years old, and white grown men, I mean, an old white man was actually pulling one boy's hair. And then another grown white man decided to choke one of them. And then the other one, he decided to push in the pool and jump in the pool and try to drown him. So you're crying about you being tortured. Where were your tears when your people were doing this to South Africans? Y'all turned a blind eye. You turned away. You didn't do anything. You didn't say it was wrong. You didn't stand up to it. You didn't stand up to your own people being racist towards South Africans. So, I don't think this is what y'all call reverse racism. No, I think this is called judgment. Because, see, it's written that the world's sins has reached heaven. And the Most High Yah remembers everything. He remembers every murder, lying, stealing, manipulating system that y'all put in place for yourselves. He remembers all the things that y'all have done against his word, and then hold yourselves accountable. Now, I think the Most High is holding y'all accountable. You reap what you sow. So I suggest you learn how to repent and mean it.
Reverse racism. That's unfortunate for any human being. Let me give you another perspective on it. How would you all feel if somebody took you out your home, killed your family, took you out your home, took you off your land, and took that land for theirs? How would you feel if somebody did that? Now, what's going on with these white people right here is they colonized African land, and the Africans have their power back. If I'm not mistaken, the same Africans gave them a set amount of time to leave. They want their land back. The original Africans were colonized, kicked, tortured, and the land was taken from them. Now they're taking it back. I don't like to see any human being get hurt. I hope somebody come save them. But this is what's taking place. It ain't reverse racism. It's somebody actually coming back in, getting what belonged to theirs.
Cute pity party, honey, but that's not actually what's happening. What you're seeing is people of the global majority finally having the means to communicate and network and band together to take back their lands and resources. And y'all have been at the top of the mother food chain for so long, you don't understand what power and privilege and all of that shit actually means. You getting your feelings hurt and people defending their lands against you is not the same as globally oppressing everybody else. Oh my dude, just no. Go sit down.
Look at it. Reverse racism is growing. It's pathetic, and it's very...
Why do y'all want to be oppressed so bad? Like, This shit ain't fun. Just cause somebody finally telling y'all can't do certain things, y'all can't go certain places, and people are actually whooping your ass when you deserve to get your ass whooped, that's not reverse race. If you say racist shit to people and they pop you in your mouth, that's not reverse racism. If you're in the parking lot when somebody's trying to park and you're banging on their window, yelling at them, and they open the door and knock you on your motherfucking head, that's not reverse racism. Again, reverse racism is not a thing. Cut it out.
Oh, how the tables have turned. When African American and people of color were telling you how bad racism and slavery was, you didn't listen. And now that as a collective we're all getting fed up with the bullshit from Caucasians, like we haven't gone through racism and been the product of slavery. And it's literally a Caucasian crying on South African land that they stole from them, and apartheid didn't happen. Like let's skip over, like let's not miss the apartheid of what everything that happened in that time frame. We took the soft approach. You didn't listen. Now we're bearing arms and showing you what we're made of, and you don't like it. I love it here. I love that for them. And what they say, if you don't like it, go back to where you came from. It's as easy as that.
So yeah, a lot of people are like, you guys started it, so why are you trying to make it look like it's wrong now? But when you guys did it, it wasn't wrong, right? Whew. About what I think, I do not believe in any form of violence or treating any human being like they are less than being a human being, no matter your race, be you white, be you black, be you Asian, Hispanic, whatever your race or ethnicity is. Every human being has a right to life, has a right to happiness, has a right to all the basic necessities of life as a human being. You understand? I believe in all of that. So I will not laugh at what is happening to them, but still the point remains that maybe they had it coming. God works in mysterious ways. Now I'm not saying God did this, I'm just saying God, the universe, karma, whatever you believe in, we all know that whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. So when you keep putting out a certain kind of energy in the universe, in the world, doing some certain things to people, it's going to come back full circle. It's going to come back to you. So that's probably what that situation is. It's unfortunate. I don't wish that for any human being. I don't condone or approve of violence or anything like that. But if you've had it coming, you're going to get it. That's it. If you're South African and you're watching this video, please can you explain to us what exactly happened in that situation? I know that is an after effect of all the tension in South Africa that has to do with the different races trying to basically make it work. There's been a lot of historical tension between the two races, the white people in South Africa and the black people. I would like to hear it from you guys exactly, because I'm not claiming to be an expert on this. I want to be educated as much as people who may be watching this video that don't know. So please just let us know in the comment section what happened exactly, what led to all of that. But then I found some videos that kind of tell a bit about the history of the whites and the blacks in South Africa that might give us like a background knowledge of how something like this might be happening. So I'm just going to go right ahead and play those videos right now.
This is Orania, a whites-only town in South Africa. It's inhabited by Afrikaners, descendants of the Dutch. They arrived in the Cape of Good Hope in 1652 and dominated until Nelson Mandela took over in 1994. In the 20th century, it was Afrikaners who introduced the apartheid reign of terror against the natives. While anyone can apply to live in Orania, the reality is only whites are admitted. The 8,000-hectare town is widely seen as a symbol of race, but its Afrikaner inhabitants beg to differ.
We are from Africa. That's why we call ourselves Afrikaners. We want to remain here. We also want to retain our identity. Now, to retain one's identity is not a race impulse. We wanted to retain our identity against the English or the British imperialism also, and they're even whiter than we are, much whiter.
Orania was founded by the son-in-law of this guy, Hendrik Verwoerd, a former Prime Minister of South Africa and the chief architect of the apartheid system, locals see no problem with the town, saying it's similar to other South African communities.
Orania has just become part of the South African landscape. There are some who would like to fight it if they could, but it's just a given. If Nkandla is a given, then Orania is a given, then Parliament in Cape Town is a given.
What is not given, though, are the opinions of native South Africans, including those who were evicted from the land to make room for the whites-only settlement. Give us your opinion about Orania in the comments. We'd love to hear them.
Hi, I'm a white South African who grew up under apartheid. Let me tell you about the neighborhood of Sophia Town, where people were forcibly evicted from their homes and the entire neighborhood was demolished, and then a white neighborhood was built in its place. Sophia Town was a cultural hub, it's the home of Desmond Tutu, it's the home of the wonderful musician Hugh Masekela. Initially, this neighborhood was chosen as an area for black people to live because it was close to a sewage system, treatment plant, and far from the city center. As the city of Johannesburg grew, Far became relative, and it became surrounded by white neighborhoods. So in February 1955, 2,000 armed policemen showed up and forcibly removed everyone from their homes, relocating all of the different racial groups into separate neighborhoods because it was illegal for races to mix. The entire neighborhood of Sophia Town was demolished, and a new neighborhood called Triumph, aka Triumph, was built in its place and became a white neighborhood. That's what apartheid looks like.
What white South Africans are facing is not systemic oppression. What white South Africans are facing is the effects of the corrective action taken when apartheid ended. See, when apartheid was in place, there was a meritocracy that rested solely on whiteness that was in effect, meaning that if you were white, you had the keys to the kingdom. The jobs were yours, the housing was yours, the money was yours. But because apartheid has ended, and the government in South Africa has taken corrective action to end the white meritocracy, what white people in South Africa are finding is that they simply do not measure up. That's it, that's all. They do not measure up. And because they no longer have the white meritocracy that came with apartheid, they are suffering and they are struggling. But all they have to do is pull themselves up by their bootstraps. All they have to do is get the necessary education and skills that will allow them to be active participants in the workforce in South Africa. They are not being oppressed. They just don't measure up. Furthermore, let us be clear. When it comes to America, there is no such thing as a black racist. Now, there may be a black supremacist out somewhere, but that's not racism, because racism is the system. Racism is prejudice plus power. And let's be clear, because we need to dead this conversation too. In truth and honesty, black people aren't even really prejudiced against white people. What we are is experienced with white people. We have dealt with y'all for generations, and quite frankly, we know y'all better than you know yourselves. So when we say, hey, you know what? To white folks, that's not prejudice. That's experience.
So you guys see, it's a nasty history. History everywhere is dark, and a lot of cultures and countries and races have done things they are not proud of. But do I feel sorry for them? The human in me, because I have humanity, yes, I do feel sorry for them. But just like I said, if you've had it coming, you have it coming, right? What you sow is what you reap. I'm not going to say more than that. I think white people and maybe some black people and people of other races are just obsessed with trying to prove that black people can be raped to the cyst. I don't know why they are so obsessed to prove that this happens, and that is what that man in the original video was trying to say, talking about, yeah, black people did this to white people, so they too are also raped to the cyst. Are they raped to the cyst, or are they anti-racist? There's an action and then there's a reaction. So if you don't perform that action, that reaction wouldn't even have happened in the first place, right? Anyway, let me just not go on and on. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. If you know more about what happened that led to that whole situation, please let us know. I'm interested in knowing, and I think you can just educate us in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
If you don't like it, then go back to Europe. Cue the world's smallest violin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a break.